Why Hayley Mills still refuses to watch one episode. She filmed in 1961, Hayley Mills has spent a lifetime in front of cameras. Generations grew up watching her smile, her effortless charm, and the bright optimism she brought to every frame. Yet, despite all the scenes she has filmed and all the performances she has revisited over the years, there is still one episode she refuses to watch. An episode she shot in 1961 at the very height of her early fame. To understand why that single half hour of television still haunts her, you have to go back to where her story began. Hayley Catherine Rose. Vivian Mills was born on April 18, 1946, in London, England, into a family steeped in the performing arts. Her father was the distinguished British actor John Mills. Her mother, Mary Hayley Bell, was a celebrated playwright and novelist. In that creatively rich household, storytelling wasn't just encouraged, it was a way of life. Scripts lay on tables, ideas were tossed around over dinner, and the line between everyday reality and the world of theater and literature was comfortably blurred. John Mills had already built a remarkable career on both stage and screen, and Mary's artistic sensibilities helped shape a home where imagination, discipline, and emotional expression were all equally important. It was in this nurturing environment that Hayley's fascination with acting took root. She wasn't simply pushed toward the spotlight, she grew into it naturally, surrounded by people who understood its power and its cost. Hayley's acting career began when she was still a child, and her talent was impossible to miss. At the age of 11, she made her film debut in Tiger Bay, 1959. Even at that young age, she displayed a striking emotional depth and a natural screen presence that instantly caught the attention of critics and audiences alike. Her performance earned her the BAFTA Award for Most Promising Newcomer, an extraordinary achievement for someone barely out of childhood. That early success announced her as one of the most promising child actors of her generation. Audiences were drawn to her innocence, her warmth, and a charisma that never felt forced. These qualities soon led her to the studio that would define her image for millions: Walt Disney. Her association with Walt Disney Studios marked a turning point in her life and career. In 1960, Hayley became a household name with Pollyanna. As the eternally optimistic Pollyanna, she brought humor, sincerity, and an almost luminous sense of hope to the role. Her performance wasn't just technically impressive, it felt real. That emotional authenticity made her a role model for young viewers around the world, and it solidified her status as Disney's newest darling. A year later, in 1961, she starred in The Parent Trap, the film that would become one of her most iconic works. Playing twin sisters separated at birth, who meet at summer camp and plot to reunite their estranged parents, she delivered two distinct performances in one movie. The film showcased her remarkable versatility, her sharp timing, and her ability to create two different characters who felt completely alive and believable. It remains one of the most beloved family films of the 1960s, often cited as a classic of the era. Her success didn't stop there. Hayley went on to appear in other major Disney productions, including In Search of the Castaways, 1962, and Summer Magic, 1963. Each project reinforced her reputation as a gifted, reliable performer who could carry a film while still connecting deeply with audiences of all ages. She had become one of Disney's most cherished stars, her face synonymous with comfort, childhood, and a particular kind of cinematic innocence. But Hayley's career did not end when childhood did. As she grew older, she faced the difficult transition that so many child actors struggle with, shifting from youthful roles into more complex, adult characters without losing herself in the process. She managed that transition with quiet determination, continuing to work in film, television, and theater well into adulthood. In 1966, she appeared in The Trouble with Angels, a comedy drama that once again highlighted her ability to balance humor with more serious emotional beats. On stage, she took on roles that demanded greater nuance and maturity, earning acclaim for performances that proved she was more than just the Disney girl the world had met a few years earlier. Her adaptability across film, television, and theater became a hallmark of her longevity in an industry that is rarely kind to former child stars. In 1981, Hayley stepped into a new chapter with a leading role in the television adaptation of The Flame Trees of Thika. The lush period drama allowed her to portray a character of emotional depth and quiet resilience. Her performance didn't just add another credit to her resume, it signaled her evolution into a fully realized, mature actress, capable of anchoring a story with grace and subtlety. Over the years, she continued to be a steady presence on British television, appearing in an array of dramas, mysteries, and ensemble productions. Whatever the genre, she brought a grounded, compelling energy to her roles. In 1988, she appeared in the British mystery film Appointment with Death, based on Agatha Christie's work. Though she wasn't the film's central focus, her supporting performance added texture and tension to the already rich ensemble cast. For nearly 2 decades afterward, Hayley chose her on-camera appearances more carefully, working more sparingly but with intent. When she did return, people noticed. In 2011, she appeared in the heartwarming British comedy drama Foster, also known as Angel of Mine in some regions. Her gentle and understated supporting performance reminded viewers of the natural warmth and quiet emotional clarity she had always brought to the screen. Around the same period, she joined the cast of the popular TV drama Wild at Heart, which ran from 2007 to 2012 and was set against the striking landscapes of South Africa. Her supporting role in the series gave her another opportunity to shine in a story rich with family dynamics, adventure, and emotional storytelling. Her most recent television work included an appearance in the British anthology series Moving On. Even in a single standalone episode with limited screen time, she delivered a grounded, honest performance that resonated deeply with longtime fans. The kind of work that reminds people why they felt connected to her in the first place. Beyond her on-screen roles, Hayley became a respected figure in television, theater, and voice acting. Over the years, she has been honored with numerous awards and accolades, not just for individual performances, but for her broader influence as a trailblazer in the entertainment industry. She has inspired countless performers, especially women and child actors, showing that it is possible to move from early stardom into a sustained, respected career without losing one's identity. Her personal life, like her professional journey, has been shaped by intense relationships, difficult choices, and the ongoing search for balance between public success and private reality. In 1966, while filming the British comedy drama The Family Way, a 20-year-old Hayley Mills met director Roy Bolting, who was then 53. Their connection quickly developed into a complex relationship that eventually led to marriage. Bolting was already a well-established figure in British cinema, known for his precise directorial style and long-standing influence on the industry. For Hayley, this relationship became a significant emotional and personal bond, bridging an age gap of more than 3 decades. 5 years later, in 1971, they married, formally intertwining their professional and personal lives. The couple maintained 2 contrasting residences that seemed to mirror the duality of their world: a stylish flat in the fashionable district of Chelsea, London, placing them at the center of the city's cultural and artistic life, and a historic cobblestone windmill in Ibstone, Buckinghamshire, a tranquil countryside retreat far from the noise and pressure of the industry. Over time, however, their differences and personal circumstances began to weigh heavily on the marriage. The union ended in divorce in 1977. During their time together, they welcomed a son, Crispian Mills. Like his mother and grandfather, Crispian grew up surrounded by creativity and performance. He eventually pursued a career in music, becoming the lead singer and guitarist for the rock band Kula Shaker, known for blending psychedelic rock with Indian musical influences, an echo in a way of the artistic environment in which he had been raised. After her marriage to Roy Bolting ended, Hayley entered into a relationship with actor Lee Lawson, a respected figure in British theater and film. In July 1976, she gave birth to their son, Jason Lawson, marking another significant milestone in her life as a mother. The relationship was passionate but not without its challenges, and by the early 1980s, Mills and Lawson had separated. Still, their shared responsibility for Jason and the necessity of navigating public scrutiny together shaped Hayley's experience of parenthood and reinforced her resilience in managing her private life alongside a demanding career. Years later, Hayley found enduring companionship with actor and writer Firdaus Bamji. Their partnership began in 1997 and has been defined by mutual respect, creative synergy, and a notable age difference. Bomji is 20 years younger than Mills. The two met while touring in a stage production of The King and I, in which they played the lead roles. The experience forged not only a strong professional collaboration, but also a deep personal connection. As of 2023, their relationship continues, a testament to Hayley's capacity to build long-lasting, meaningful partnerships even after earlier heartbreak and upheaval. Their life together represents a blend of artistic collaboration, emotional support, and enduring companionship that beautifully complements her celebrated career in film and theater. And yet, despite this long, rich career and a life full of reinvention, there is still that one shadow from 1961. Even after all the roles she has played and the footage she has watched, Hayley Mills cannot bring herself to revisit a particular television episode she filmed during the same whirlwind period in which The Parent Trap was making her an international sensation. For fans, that time appears golden. Sunlit sets, Disney magic, and a young actress whose charm seemed to flow as naturally as breathing. But for Hayley, one moment from that year sits like a stone in her memory, heavy, immovable. She has repeatedly said that she will never, ever watch that episode again. The episode was part of a lesser-known television appearance she made while juggling an exhausting schedule of press tours, rehearsals, and promotional commitments for The Parent Trap. At just 14 years old, she was also carrying the immense weight of being Disney's newest teen superstar. She has spoken often about the enormous pressure she felt at that age. "I didn't fully understand what being in the public eye meant," she has said, "and I was terrified of disappointing everyone. Walt, my parents, the crew, the fans. Those early years were thrilling, yes, but also profoundly overwhelming." She felt she was expected to be the perfect Disney girl at every moment, on and off camera. What makes that single episode so painful for her is the emotional state she was in when she filmed it. At the time, she was working nearly non-stop. Early call times, long shooting days, late-night fittings, interviews, and constant travel. She has recalled how physically and emotionally drained she felt, how she was running on nerves and obligation more than joy. "I look at myself in that episode in the still photos, and I can see that I wasn't well," she once admitted. "I was exhausted, I was anxious, and I felt like I was just trying to survive the day." To her, that episode is not just another credit. It is a snapshot of a young girl caught in the machinery of early stardom, pushed forward by a momentum she was too young to fully understand. Another layer of discomfort lies in how she remembers her own performance. The script required a tonal complexity and emotional nuance that she felt completely unprepared for at the time. "I remember thinking I wasn't good enough, not seasoned enough, not confident enough," she said. To watch it now would feel like reopening a wound, forcing her to relive that raw insecurity and fear of failure. She has admitted that even the thought of hearing her younger self's voice from that episode makes her chest tighten. Ironically, this episode was being filmed while The Parent Trap was presenting her to the world at her brightest. On one side, she was the glowing dual lead in a beloved Disney film, radiant, adored, carrying the story with spark and ease. On the other, this smaller television appearance captured her at a frazzled low point behind the surface sheen of her rising fame. "It was such a contrast," she once explained. "People saw me as happy, bright, and full of energy, but that episode, that was me when the camera stopped catching the sparkle." For Hayley, watching the episode now would be like cracking open an old diary from a chapter of her life she has no desire to revisit. Over the years, fans have tried to coax her into talking more about it, or even revisiting it on camera as part of some nostalgic retrospective. She remains gentle but firm in her refusal. She acknowledges that the episode exists, that it's part of her professional history, but she has no interest in turning it into a curiosity or a sentimental moment. Instead, she chooses to see it as a private snapshot of her younger self, overworked, overwhelmed, and silently struggling. "Some things don't need to be relived," she has said with quiet finality. "And that one? Well, it's better left where it is."